Good morning, everybody. It's time for another delicious edition of Texas Oatmeal, and today we're going to install the front turn signal markers like the ones I put on the rear, but these are amber and they're going to hook up to the front turn signals. So it's kind of like a part 2 of my last video. So if you haven't seen that one, I'll link that in the description below, and you can see how I hooked up the rear turn signal lights. I think the front are going to be quite a bit easier, so this should go pretty quick, and I'm not going to go into all the detail on like how I hook up and tie into some of the cables, because you can watch the other video and see how like the T-taps work and stuff like that. So I'm going to make this one real quick and just show you where I'm tying into the turn signals and then kind of the finished product. So this will be real quick. All right. Okay, so the front lower piece is off that Moody is inspecting. It's real simple. There's one on each side of the cowl and then 4 on the bottom. But just like when I took the side pieces off, I found stuff that's loose, like this bracket and this bracket. So I don't think they're supposed to be loose, but because these are plastic inserts here, this screw has backed out. I can literally tighten it by hand, or loosen it by hand actually. So tighten it by hand. So I'm gonna put a little extra torque on that, not just do it by hand. The backs are a touch loose, but not quite as bad. But they have these cool little clips instead of the plastic insert. So keep that in mind. These move around, are fun to play with. But yeah, so I'm gonna tighten these by hand for right this second. But yeah, fun. But hey, no missing brackets or tabs or anything. It was all on here. It's all in place. I walked around here where I set the hood down, and Kat has decided that she's gonna check it out under there. What are you doing, Moo? You're so funny. Okay, just like I expected, this is gonna be much easier. So hood off, lower fairing off, or whatever. There's a nice giant hole right here, so you can drop the wire straight down through here. It comes down right out here, and I'm going to be able to plug straight into my LED. So it's going to be super easy. This is the harness we're working with, just like the back. There's a separate one for the blinker, or the turn signal, and it's got the one with the resistor on it. It's got a positive and negative wire, so it's even simpler. It's literally just this small plug. So I'm going to tap into these 2 wires on this side of this, and you know, figure out which one's hot and ground. But it looks like the green's going to be hot, black's going to be ground. Hey, Cat. Okay, so I'm going to tap into those here in just a second and find a good clean way to do this and keep these big T-taps all, you know, bundled up. And then, you know, this is all bundled up together right here, so, you know, figure out a way to tie into this and keep it all looking tidy. But that's gonna be it. Super simple. Alright, so I'm at this point. I got everything run through here, you know, down on the back side of this. I've got it re-zip tied here so that nothing comes loose there. And then when I put this into place, I'm actually gonna shorten all this and loop it over itself just a little bit to shorten up some of the slack, just so it's not super loose inside here. Otherwise, it's all done, ready to rock. Just so you know, for whatever reason, your hot side on these is actually the black. So if you see that on the wires coming out of here, the red is the hot side to the resistor, and then the blue is your ground. So it's they, for whatever reason, these are opposite on this part of the plug. So the black is actually hot and the green is the ground. Not that it really matters, because these LEDs will let you switch these. If it's not working one way, you just switch them and it works. So it doesn't really matter. It's pretty straightforward. So if you get this wrong, as long as you're tapped into the green and the black on both sides, on the front they're the same color, at least on a 2018. So most of the Venice models should be this way. But yeah, if you hook into the green and the black on this plug, then you're gonna be good to go on these. So it's all done, wired up. Got the lower valence back on, and it turned out great. So front and rear is all done. Yeah, couldn't be happier. This stuff's super cheap. I'll relink all this down below so you can see where I get the lights and the little T-tap connectors. And yeah, so, but again, the rear is a lot more involved. The front's actually really, really easy. Man, that's it. All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Peace.